Hello, welcome to the Lunch and Chat with Leslie show. I'm so glad to be back. I have been gone for a couple weeks, just working on different projects. As I mentioned to you before, I have some really exciting projects coming to you soon. I am just so excited tonight because I haven't had a chance to talk with my viewers or even to do any type of live streaming. I have been jump roping lately, so I don't know if you guys have been watching me, but I am shifting my focus to being healthier mentally, physically, and psychologically. But tonight's broadcast, I wanted to talk about the incident that happened with Will Smith and Chris Rock. I titled this Two Wrongs Don't Make a Right. As you know, that we're living in a society now where it's the norm to sensationalize about chaos and things that has happened around the world. And the media, I would say, is doing a very good job doing that. I would definitely say that social media has really sensationalized this. And some things, I'm not lying, I laughed at and I found it funny, but I thought about it a little bit more deeper. I said, you know what? I realized that Will Smith, first of all, I want to mention that he did do something wrong. And so did Chris Rock. So in my opinion, neither one of them were right. But Will Smith was definitely wrong for what he did. And Chris Rock was wrong for what he did as well. But he also, what I loved about these two men is that they let down their pride. They came forth and apologized. Will Smith did apologize to Chris Rock. He apologized to the Williams family. The one when he had made the movie about Venus and Serena Williams. And he also apologized to the Academy. Now, I guess you're wondering, is that enough? Well, society is not going to let us allow it to be enough because they want to carry it on and drag it on and on and on. So as long as we get involved in it and don't speak up or speak our mind up about it, they're going to continue dragging this, to the ground. Now, of course, I don't know Will Smith personally, so I don't know what it was he was going through at that time. But I can bet you it had to be something more than that joke that he said, that Chris Rock said about his wife. I believe that sometimes when we deal with anger, we have a tendency of bringing it, whatever that's on our mind, our heart, or our soul, it's ripping us apart. And I believe those tears, if you notice those pictures that I showed Will Smith. So now I'm sure he realized that he humiliated himself and his family and his children and everybody else. But I do feel like he felt like he had to defend his wife or else, she felt like, you know what, I don't believe that you're going to allow Chris Rock to say what he said. So I do want your opinion. Get in the chat box and tell me what you think. But I do want to just read over something that Will Smith said about his apology. And this came from Sandra Gonzalez from CNN. He says that jokes at his expense are part of the job. But a joke about Jada's medical condition was too much for him to bear. There's that word for us, bear, what we can handle. Now, everybody can handle jokes very well. I remember when I was younger, I couldn't handle being teased or whatever. And I got upset and angry about it. Then later on, my skin began to get a little bit thicker. So not everybody has that thick skin. And I do believe that he probably was going through some other pressures or underlying pressures that we don't know about. We don't live in his household, so we really don't know what he was going on. But I'm not condoning what he did to Chris Rock. That was wrong. But again, I love the fact that Will did apologize. And I believe what he's saying is sincere. So I'm going to finish this for you. He said he would like to publicly apologize to Chris. I was out of the line, and he said he was wrong. He said, I'm embarrassed by my actions, and it was not indicative of the man that I want to be. He said, there is no place for violence in the world of love and kindness. He also added in his post that violence in all forms is poisonous and is destructive. But, that's what we see in the media anyway. We see it on the news everywhere. It's this violent type attitude. So yes, it is very destructive if we allow it to sink in, set in our minds and heart. And I'm gonna be honest with you, when I first saw the incident, I didn't see it from the very beginning. It was blowing up on social media. So of course, me being curious, I went on social media and I found the video where he slapped him. And of course, TV only show you a certain amount of what really happened. But at first I was like, oh my gosh, that is just horrible. And then I found myself wanting to dig and find some more stuff. So again, I started shifting my focus and really getting involved with that anger type attitude, because that's what the media wants you to do. They want us to stay angry. So that's why I said, be careful. Do not allow the media to pull you in that direction. Smith also said this, that he also included in his note of apology to the Academy and the producers of the show and everybody else attended the show. He said he deeply regret that his behavior has stained what has been an otherwise gorgeous journey for all of us, he wrote. He said, I am a work in progress. So what does that tell you? Just because he is a superstar doesn't mean he's perfect, but we do look for people like that to know better and to do better and not to mess up. But if you really take a deep look inside your mind, your heart, your soul, have you ever had an outburst that you were ashamed of? I know I did. So I didn't say it was right. I never did. I rage at someone, and believe it or not, I have. But after I did it, I realized, Leslie, you're allowing things to get the best of you. And it was kind of like what Denzel Washington said. He said that Denzel Washington said something, be careful that when the devil comes for you, when you're at your highest moment, or just be aware of darkness or dark things that come to you. And I remember when I wrote my book, Cycles of Pain, I said, the heart is wicked, who can know it? Because do you really know it? Do we really know what was going on? And now let's talk about Chris Rock. Okay. I'm really thankful that he apologized, because he got hit. And I'll be honest with you, a lot of people with their pride, if he had hit me, I don't know if I would come immediately to apologize, because he was wrong for hitting me. But at the same time, Chris Rock has to be careful about his jokes and what he says. According to Psychology Today, it's not okay to attack people based on their size or their physicality. You can be a comic without being super crappy to other people. So is it funny or is it bullying? That's a fine line, according to Jessica Schrader. So I just want you to kind of figure out what your views are with this. Okay, let me see. Got a couple questions, a couple responses here. All right. Okay, let me see what Miss Tiller said here. All right. So Tawana Tiller, thank you for tuning in. She says, when is enough? Enough. It was the top of the pressure cooker exploding. You're absolutely right. I believe that Will was going through some really stressful things that we'll eventually probably know about later on. But you are definitely right. When we have outbursts like this, it doesn't seem like it fit his character. So something else was cooking. It was already there and it just blew. Great point. And you're right. You said he's human. Absolutely. He is human like we all are. And I love this too, Tawana, what you said. You said when Jesus had enough, he turned over the table. Amen. And see, people don't look at it like that. They figure like, well, this is this perfect guy. He has no right of getting upset and getting angry. But when you're angry and people take you there, it can definitely do that. Oh, okay, great. I have another guest here, Kamal. Yes, Kamal's a very great friend. He's a leader in the church. So Kamal, what are your views about this incident? Please let me know. But I'm going to tell you, I wanted to point out just a few more things about one thing that somebody said. It says one of the commandments in in my book, this is someone has a comedy that is a comedian, the comedy Bible, is to joke fairly and never use comedy to further oppress someone who is already oppressed. So again, I think that Will was going through something. He was already oppressed. And I'm not saying that Chris knew that. And he didn't even know, as far as with Jada, he did admit that he didn't know that Jada had suffered this condition, which is like an autoimmune condition with, I believe it is, alopecia. And my friend and my guest, Tawana Tiller, she's in hair care, so she's very familiar with that. So I know that Chris Rock he didn't know that Jada was going through that. But again, you have to be very careful. There are hate crime laws. That's why hate crime laws were passed, for a good reason. They make it illegal to harm someone because they're immutable characteristics that's for race, gender, creed, religion, and disability, and sexual orientation will soon be added. But it's not fair to pick on someone about something they cannot change. Think about it. So here she is. And again, I didn't know that Jada was going through that either. But I think that was a touchy subject for me. So I have just a few questions for you about Will. What do you think at this point Will should do? First of all, do you think that he was sincere with his apology? My second question, if you can respond, that'll be great, into the chat box. Now, do you think that Will should have, obviously I would say they've done something differently. And we all say that. Woulda, coulda, shoulda. Wish he would have done this differently. But at this point, it's over with. And you can't, it's like there's water under the bridge. It is what it is. And you can't, you just can't redo it. It's done. But do you think Chris Rock will ever forgive Will? I know that these two have apologized to one another. And I'm sure it was just as humiliating for Chris Rock to get slapped in the face on national TV in front of a lot of people. But do you think Chris will ever forgive Will for what he did? And question number 4, do you think the anger was brought on by something else, which we discussed? Do you think it was that Will was maybe angry they have been talking about this, maybe he never got over the incident, what happened with Jada, with infidelity and some other things, and just being exposed, when you're in that limelight, that's just part of the life that people choose. That they're going to write articles about you, the embarrassment or whatever. So it just makes me wonder, what was he really angry about? And do you think Will needs to seek anger management? I want to hear your views. What do you think? Okay. All right. So Kamal, let me see what you said here. So Kamal says, people don't realize that passion cuts both ways, good and bad. Will lost control of his passion. Wow. That is an excellent point. Very good. Very good. Thank you, Kamal, for sharing that with us. And Tawana Tiller, she says that the media has always used Black comments as minstrels. Yes, I definitely agree to that. Say they control the narrative to have us hurt each other. Wow, that's another great point. And you know what? You are absolutely right. And that's what they've done for a long time. Unfortunately, we buy into it. And it's okay, to make fun and poke at one another and belittle each other. Thank you, Paul. He says a great topic. I'm glad you enjoy it so far. Okay, Ms. Tiller, she said, I believe they both were sincere. Yeah, I think so too. I think they both were sincere. And, after the fact, I think when Chris Rock said what he said, he realized, of course, after he got smacked, but he realized what he did was wrong. And that, it just was one of those things he wasn't thinking. I know his job was to make the audience laugh, but he laughed at a great expense. And I do know that Okay, so I believe they already have forgiven him. Oh, good, 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 good. I hope so. I hope so. I hope the Oscars, I know that they were talking about the Oscars Academy was talking about taking a review and looking at everything. I mean, what more do they have to review? They saw what happened. So now here they have a great actor. He's been acting for years. And I'm hoping that they won't put him in what do you call it? Oscar Awards jail. Just because, and I'm not saying it lightly, but because of what happened. And I'm sure there's some things that a lot of other people in that audience have done. And, we'll never know. But the main thing is that they will forgive one another. Forgiveness is important because forgiveness, I always say, is not it's not for the person, but it's for you. So you have to forgive. And God expects us to learn how to forgive one another. All right. So, Tawana, you are on the ball. Okay. So he probably already has a therapist. Yeah. You know what? Maybe he does. Because I could just see the pain in Will's eyes about just his outburst, screaming about how, like, he said, what he said. I'm not going to curse about it, but he doesn't want anybody to talk about his wife, and he's supposed to protect his wife. And he felt like, I guess, as a man, that's what he was supposed to do. But you never know about that pent up anger, what was going on with him. But I think if he doesn't have a therapist, he needs to at least seek help, not because of the media making him feel like he's this bad guy, but because of whatever stuff that was happening before. He got to chisel that away. And all I can say is we need to just pray for him, pray for Will, and also pray for Chris Rock. This will be a lesson for both of them. Okay, so Paul, he said yes. One number, yes. Great. Okay. And he said they will not be friends. You don't think so? Wow. And he'll need to see anger management. Okay. Well, I hope they will be friends. They may not be buddies, Paul, but I hope that they will learn to, be around each other again. I don't want to look like Chris Rock. If you think about it, when he got slapped, he didn't really like respond in anger. He was just in awe and shock. And I know he laughed because he's on stage, but behind, maybe the next day or later on that night, we don't know what happened. The media will let us know. Okay, so Kamal, okay, so what are your views? He said, well, he's on the flip side. Chris was doing what he does. Yeah, that's true. He said there was no malice intended. That is what comics do. So I don't think Chris has anything to apologize for. Yeah, he's a comedian. I mean, I do agree with you because he didn't do anything directly to, I don't feel like he did anything directly to harm them, but he selected it was a sensitive topic, obviously, for Jada and for Will Smith. So let's just keep them, like I said, in prayer. Oh, I love your views on this. Very good. So the hair loss condition is not cancer. That's true. It's true. But Kamal, women, our hair is like our pride and glory, unless we just decide, hey, we want to cut it real short, then we will, that's something that we choose to do. But I don't know anyone. Well, actually, I do know a few people that suffer with alopecia. And I know that it's a very embarrassing situation to have bald spots in your head and, not knowing exactly what happened. But you're right. It is not cancer. And if she did, and the thing about it is, he didn't know that she could have cancer. And we don't even know that. It may not have been revealed. So to talk about her bald head was kind of touchy. Okay. He will get a temporary suspension. That's what you think from the Oscars? Okay. I was thinking that, yeah, I hope so. I hope it won't be a lifetime suspension for Will, because he has definitely proven himself to be a great actor. His mom, I want to mention this to you. I was watching a video earlier with his mother. Apparently his mom was interviewed. sometime, I guess it was today, maybe, or yesterday. So his whole family came together to kind of explain. They were there. They were at home watching the Oscars and was like so great and excited for Will getting the award, but they did not anticipate Will doing that. And his mom said that that is not him. I believe it. I don't think his mother was, trying to cover up for Will. She said, that is not my son. So it goes to show you that something else bigger was happening inside with Will. So I'm hoping that that's all they'll give him is a temporary suspension and just time to reflect. I mean, we all have time to reflect on things that we do wrong. And okay, so alopecia, thank you for clarifying this. So what is alopecia? So Tawana Tiller is a hairstylist. Matter of fact, she's done my hair quite a few times. So Tawana Tiller says alopecia is a disease. A lot of people suffer emotionally behind this. So it is very deep. That is great. And for men, they may not understand that, but I can see that being very deep. And I guess it's an emotional thing, to know that, hey, I used to have really nice hair. And if you think about it, Jada had really beautiful hair at one time. So to lose your hair and because of whatever issues that she may have been going through, because I know that, stress, if I've been told, it can bring that on as well. So, but I'm glad you clarified that for us, Tawana. I appreciate that. Okay. All right, we have a comment here. All right, from Patrick Parker. Hey, Patrick. He said, we have to value people more than outside appearance. Absolutely. I agree with you 100%. Yeah, it's really hard for us to get to that point because the media, again, has put, they've glamorized everything. If you're not glamorous enough or if you look pretty bad, and not knowing really what the reason is, we do have a tendency of putting value on the outside appearance instead of the inside appearance of people. So thank you very much. Okay, so we have another comment from Kamal. He said he saw the movie today, King Richard, and he said he earned that Oscar. Absolutely. I watched it like 2 or 3 times, Kamal. It was fantastic. It was phenomenal. So if any of the viewers have not had a chance to see it, please take your time to watch that. It was really good. And if you think about what actors go through, I remember, I think Denzel Washington said for himself that when he has to prepare for a role, he had to get in that character. It's just so much you have to do, so much energy, so much stress involved to actually portray someone that you don't even know about, but you read about that person. And King Richard himself, I mean, when Will played that part, it was just so believable. I would have thought that he really was Venus and Serena's father because he did an outstanding job. So yes, he earned that Oscar. And I think that's what we should remember him for, not for the mistake. And I'm not saying he's made one mistake. He may have made many, but don't remember this guy for the one mistake. And I'm not taking any sides. Again, I do not condone violence. That was not appropriate, but understand that there is a reason behind everything. Behind an outburst, hurt, cry, pain, or whatever. So I'm just curious. Have you ever been so angry that you couldn't control your emotions? Don't be don't be shy to say it. I'm going to tell you, I have. I remember having an argument one time with my daughter when she was younger. And she told me when I came in the house, and I actually was frustrated because it was work related. I couldn't lash out on my supervisor. So at the time, she was she was in middle school, I believe. And the first thing I noticed was what was wrong instead of seeing what was right. Everything else, I just focused on the wrong. And she told me, she said, Ma, the first thing you noticed was something that was out of place. And that was because, and she asked me, she said, so, are you okay? How was your day? And of course, as a parent, I was like, I got a little defensive, like, look, I'm your mother. I don't know who you're talking to. But she was right. And again, it just goes to show you that we all have uncontrollable moments. So, sometimes we got to take a breath. So let me see. We have another comment. When all of life pressures come, oh man, on you. Come on. Amen, sister. There's no telling how your reaction will be. And it's so true. Because we are all under a lot of pressure. Pressure from the pandemic, pressure from the bills, pressure from everything. And we just assume that people, because they're rich and wealthy, they don't have any pressures. Oh, this pressure is all over, honey. His may not be financial, but I'm sure Chris Rock and Will Smith, both who are millionaires, have some pressures outside of things. Okay, trying to perfect a life as a successful Black man. Woo, girl, you are on point. You can 99 do 99 things right, but they only look at the one bad thing. The one bad thing. I don't understand that. No matter what, you're like trash to them. It's kind of like remind me of when Ray Rice, when he slapped his wife in the elevator. Of course, they say that she spat at him, whatever, and I don't agree for any man putting his hands on a woman. But as long as he was running up and down that field, carrying that ball, getting risk of getting hurt and beat up, it was okay. It was okay. But as soon as all his fans were like, yeah, we love you, Ray Rice. But as soon as they found out about the incident, and his wife had forgiven him. But the media, again, has sensationalized it, had made it so where they made us want to hate this man and ruin his life. Say, oh, he's done. What's his name with the dogs? Michael Vick. Okay, he did this, so we don't like him no more. We liked him when he was a quarterback, but because now he's fighting, having dogs fight one another. When will this world change? I'll never know. Okay, we have Patrick Parker says, we all need a Snickers right now. That's so true. Oh my gosh. Yes. Please, can you bring me a Snicker? Yes, haven't had one. I got to do these jump ropes, so I won't be able to get any Snickers right now. Okay. Yeah, we need, absolutely. Wine with the Snickers. Yes. Oh man, maybe we have to give, I think that's what Will might need. He might need a Snickers. So maybe we can send him some Snickers. Or you know what I think we should do? Just if we could start writing on, this is how we can build people up again. So I don't follow Will Smith or I don't get on his page or anything like that, but we need to really start speaking affirmations, just positive things, because it is natural to want to see people down. I don't want to keep people down. As you mentioned, we all have been down, been deep down, and sometimes find it hard to grow and get back up. So I will definitely start because of this incident that happened, I will probably start just writing positive things to both Will and Chris and Chris Rock. Not to bring up anything negative about what happened, but I'm praying for you. Those simple words. I'm praying for you. Just like you say, I love you. I care about you. We want them to succeed. So I hope that, we definitely keep this in mind, and just be, mindful about what has happened to both Chris Rock and Will Smith. We need to recognize that we need to really just not allow the media to turn our opinions or our feelings towards a person because they've made a mistake. So I want to first of all thank you for tuning in to the Lunch and Chat with Leslie podcast, and to help view your opinions and your views about what happened. So remember, 2 wrongs don't make a right, but prayer, love, peace, and happiness is secure. Take care, and you have a wonderful evening. So long.